Hey, welcome back. I am sorry. It's been a while, and I know that. But if you want to ever come yell at me for taking my sweet time on this one, feel free to stop by my Twitch, and that's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard or 9 p.m. Eastern. Link for that is in the description. Also, if you want to get access to this setup and download it for free, jump into the Discord. That link is also in the description. Do it. It's right down there. Here we are at Circuit Zolder. This is one I have been dreading, and that has honestly beat me up. This track has been really difficult for me to get any sort of quick time, and I have little to no experience in the Audi. So this was an interesting and hard video for me to make. Not to mention how many times I've recorded it and had to re-record it because I'm terrible at YouTube. So without stalling anymore, let's jump into it and take a look at what we have here. We'll be starting in practice mode this time. We're migrating from hot laps, so that way we have more consistent tire pressures, and we will be jumping straight into the aggressive preset. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the aggressive setup. A couple things I want to do first off before we even get on track, which I believe I already did. So I leave the fuel at 62 liters. We want to have a decent fuel load there to mimic race conditions. I also knock the brakes down to pad 1s. Because it's a sprint race setup, you don't need pad 2s. Pad 2s are more for an endurance race. So we'll go ahead and do that. Those two changes just off the bat before we get on track. TC is the same tires, haven't touched them, but we will be adjusting those next. So let's go ahead and see how the car feels. I will fast forward through the out lap as we're leaving the pit here, and we will move straight into the first hot lap. Just a quick note though, don't touch the curbs on your out lap. There is potential for pressure loss, and you want consistent tire pressure readings. So if you get pressure loss, it's not going to do well. So don't do like I did and touch the curbs. All right, we'll see you at the hot lap. All right, here we go. First hot lap. As you can see, our tire pressures are not happy right now. So that's going to be one of the first changes that we make. Coming out onto the front straight here, it's important to get a good exit off of that last chicane there. But yeah, tire pressures are brutal right now. Oh, so much understeer going into this first corner. The car didn't want to turn. I put in too much input and the car snapped oversteered on me. But that's one thing I noticed about this setup. The stock aggressive setup has a lot of built-in understeer, and it really hurts this car. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it, I promise. Oh, it's incredibly scary going through that chicane. You should be able to nail those curves and not worry too much, so we'll make some changes there. Oh, it's a death trap through that chicane too. And I think I already know what's going on. The car's bottoming out and it's throwing off the whole aero balance of the car. I think the car is too low. It doesn't have enough oversteer. It doesn't have enough rotation in it. And these are some things that we're gonna fix. Confidence is key in a setup as well. If you don't have confidence in your setup, you're not gonna get around the track. So that's my goal, is to give you a setup that works for you and will help increase your lap times. 32-2. Oh, that one's bad. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this setup. So our tire pressures are way off. Those are the first things I look at. So as you notice, 27.1, 27 or 26.7, 26.6, and 26.1. These are all PSI hot ratings, the hottest temperature that the tires got on track. We'll go ahead and increase this for the front left. We'll start here. We're going to bring this up 4 clicks to 27.5. That's your target PSI number. So there's 4. 8, 11, or no, excuse me, 9, and 14. I can math, I swear. I swear it. Okay, so the next thing that we can do to help with that understeer problem that we are having is increase some of the toe. So we'll bring some more toe out in the front, and we will reduce the toe in rear. That should help with some rotation, get the car moving. And for simplicity's sake and for time's sake, we'll go ahead and move to aero. A couple things that I noticed was the braking understeer. That was pretty brutal. And just the lack of confidence in the car. So we want to make a couple changes. Now, being that this is a short technical track that's very bumpy and that you have to utilize the curbs on, having the front this low is probably not a good idea. So first thing I'm going to do is raise that front end to 61. This is going to increase understeer, but we're going to correct for that. So one thing that I'm going to do to also increase the stability and the confidence of the car is bring up the rear wing, and I'm bringing up the back end. So this gives me an aero variation of negative 3.3, which I was really comfortable with. And the reason why is I went for 3.3. I need to adjust the brake bias. And that brake bias was so far to the rear that the car was just going straight. So we want to increase some rotation without causing instability. So that's why I went with that aero variation. And I'll go ahead and make that brake bias change now. I think it was 62.2%. So no more changes. We just adjusted the aero again. We increased the front to get over some of those curbs and to reduce the bottoming out. In order to raise the front, we also need to raise the rear to keep the aero balance the same. Put in a click of rear wing, adjusted the toe, the tire pressures, and that's it. As always, I'll go ahead and skip through the out lap. That way we can jump straight into the hot lap and kind of make this video a little shorter. If you have any questions about the setup, or if I didn't explain something to your liking, let me know. I will be happy to help out wherever I can. All right, here we go. We're heading into the hot lap here, and the tire pressures already look way better. Car's feeling really good so far. Let's see how it feels into turn one. We had some understeer moments there, so we'll see if we improve that. Yeah, moving that brake bias really helped the car rotate, and it felt really nice and stable going through there. I mean, there's still some things that we can improve on, but overall, just making those changes have really boosted my confidence in the setup. And the car doesn't feel like it wants to kill me. I get the rotation that I want without it trying to kill me. And that's what we were going for. We got through the chicane a little better. I wouldn't say it was the best, but we got through it. Got through that chicane. We're already making improvements. There are some things I do want to change, though. We'll go over that in a sec. Car felt pretty good coming out of there. It's really important to get a good exit out of that. All right, 29 flat, and the tire pressures are just, they look good. So I think we can still improve on this. Let's jump in and I will show you the changes that I made. A couple things I want to change is to add some more travel in the suspension without messing up my car balance and also improve my corner exits. And this can be done in a few different ways. So to have a stable car under braking, one thing that we can do is increase the front roll bar. This is going to help braking, and the car won't rotate as much. Make it nice and stable while you're on the brakes, especially if you're trail braking. It's crucial. Wheel rates felt fine. I don't think I need to change those. Bump stop rate, I'm going to do one click up to 900, and then the bump stop range. This is going to be where we're going to get more of that suspension travel. I'm going to increase this to 8. This is going to allow the front end to move and for those bumps to transfer through the suspension instead of riding on the bump stops. It's very important to have some flexibility in the chassis and the suspension while you're on a bumpy track. That way you can absorb things. That's why we have suspension. The other thing I did was reduce the rear bump stop rate, and I brought my range down to 60. I don't think it's much of a difference, to be honest with you. I don't think you're still using the bump stops, but I brought it down to 60. You can play with that however you want. If you reduce it more, you might start running into situations where the car is using the rear bump stops, and that's going to limit your suspension travel for those curbs. Anti-roll bar, since we did go up in the front, I'm going to go down in the rear. This is going to give more stability coming out of the corner. It's going to allow us to accelerate quicker. It's going to help out with our next setting. One thing I noticed while using Racing Sim Tools, or RST, which is a telemetry software tool that you can download and use, I highly recommend it. It's really good. Is adjusting the preload. I was noticing that when I got throttle, the rear diff was still unlocked, and you could see a lot of wheel slip. You could hear it in the traction control system. It was really limiting the car. So in order to fix that, or to get a better exit out of the corner, I increased my diff to 180, and it felt so much better. Really increased my corner exit speed. So we'll go ahead and jump back out on track. I say go ahead a lot. I apologize. I'll see if I can fix that. We'll go jump back out on track. I almost did it. And see how this feels. And then I'll give you my final thoughts afterwards. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Don't be shy. We all learn and we all grow by asking questions. So I welcome all of those. Let's do it. Let's see if this is any faster. All right, here we go. First hot lap. Let's see how the car feels now. See if we can improve on that time a little bit. Get a good exit out of this corner. Nice. Let's see how it feels in turn 1. Turn 1's going to be crucial here. Oh, it felt so planted. Felt really good. You really see how confident I am in the corner now. And let's see what we can do through the chicane. See if we can improve through here. Oh, huge improvement. Not the best second chicane. As you can see, we lost a lot there. And that was just due to me being terrible here at Zolder. Gained a little bit back there. A nice 28 though is solid for a race pace. Really nice exit. Oh, look at that. I'll take a 128.6 every day, any day for race base. I'm really happy with that. That's with 60 liters on board. And in practice conditions, I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and end it here. I did go out on a hot lap track just to see what my overall fastest lap time would be. And it ended up being a nice 127.9. And I'll roll that lap here after I walk you through this setup. So let's go ahead and jump into the setup that I created here. And we'll go step by step for anybody who's on console. Here's our tires, our electronics, our fuel and strategy, our mechanical, dampers. And these dampers are set, by the way. So I did go through these and make sure that they were set for the track. And our aero. So car felt great. One thing that you might notice is if you add more fuel into the car, it might adjust your aero. The car might feel either a little bit more understeery or oversteery, and you can adjust you can always play with your ride height to fix that problem. So if you have any questions or concerns, if you don't like the setup, you think I'm doing things wrong, please let me know in the comments below. If you want access to this setup and you have any questions for me personally, jump into the Discord, links in the description below. And I will go ahead and roll my fastest lap time in this setup and these conditions. Until next time, thank you so much for coming by. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you in the Twitch streams.